I'm back! Well, hey Tony, what's all this about? Well, actually today, in this review, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one out the top. Kemper, I like Kempers. For the most part, I like Kempers. I'm going to pull it out, I'm going to take the lid off, we're going to have a peep inside, see what's going on. Now this is not a Kemper rack with a power amp in it. That's why it sits in this rack, because as some of you will know if you've watched my review on the Multiamp's got a power amp. And you can very easily set a preset so that load the preset up, you can do with your pedal. Load the preset up in that, and this comes in through the effects loop. And away you go. You've got a power amp and a preamp. That's all it is really, it's a preamp. Unless you get the powered one. But I didn't want to spend hundreds of pounds difference when I already owned the original to have a power amp put in, which I thought was a bit of a shortcoming. So what I did is eventually I bought the Multiamp, great, and I bought this, great, and use it like this. But anyway, today what we're reviewing is that at the top, a sort of inside and out. I'm not going to go and show you every feature on this because that isn't what this review is about. This review is about finding out a bit more about this rack unit that doesn't have the power amp in and what goes on inside, assuming I can get to see anything that does go on inside. I remember when I looked at the Geek's handbag one, which I used to own, you couldn't get in it very far to see what was going on. But on this one I think I might get a bit further. So I'm going to pull it out now and then we're going to have a look at the juicy bits. And of course this will be reviewed on my website in quite a lot of depth, as I've done with other equipment of this similar. Well, here it is, eventually out of the rack. I have to fiddle around a bit to get it out, but there it is, very nice and spanking new, or as spanking new as we are going to get. This one actually was bought from Thoman, or Toman, some people pronounce it, over here in Europe. Of course you can buy them in the States, you can buy them in Europe, you can probably buy them everywhere by now. Sometimes they run out of stock, sometimes they don't. But this was a returned one, and actually I don't even know why it was returned, it's just brand new, no faults, nothing. So I saved 10% by buying it that way, and they still have a 3-year warranty on it, so nice. I'm going to take the lid off and we'll have a poke inside, see how far we get. Hold on. Well, that wasn't too bad. Unlike the Geek's handbag model, you know, the other one, this one was pretty straightforward. You just got a load of screws that are removable reasonably easy. Bear in mind that these are like a star type of screw, and you can't just do them with any old screwdriver. You need the proper tool to do it with, or you're never going to do it. But just taking a quick look inside the top here, this is an altogether easier product to be able to see what's going on, which is quite nice really, and I guess you can have a look too. It's all exciting stuff. So I'm going to bring the camera in close and we'll have a quick chat about what's going on inside. I'll give you a quick sort of run through at the front and back as well, but I'm not going to go into any depth because it's all over the internet and there's no point. What isn't all over the internet is all these insides and you know, the inside and out type of things that I often do aren't there, thankfully, because I invented it. So I'm going to do this one. It's all interesting stuff. Let's move the camera over and see what's going on. Okay, well here's the Kemper amp, the rack version, and as we move inside you can see first of all power supply, quite a robust power supply, not like some I've seen in similar units. You appear to have a power out there which might or might not be for the power amp, which seems to have some mounting holes around here. I have a sneaky feeling it just fits in there, but I could be wrong of course because nobody ever tells you anything. Then we've got the processing section, I guess. There it is. There we go, that's better. I'll check them out, and anyone who wants to know what they really are can have a look on my website at the review there, which I always talk about the bits that are in the unit. And the little board here. We've got another board which is below that, the back board here, this back one, which has a lot of I/O on it and stuff. It's like an I/O board, and you can see that the sort of processing module just fits in, just clips in, just like a memory. In fact, it's got memory on it, I think, by the look of it. We will see. Yeah, what you've also got is this other board here, which is also I/O by the look of it. It's joined to the bottom board, so they both seem to be I/O. And you can't really see much of what's going on in there, except to say that, well, they're what they are, I guess. Let's have a look at the front. Now at the front of the unit, you've got all the usual things. You've got the what I'd call a display panel, main PCB, and then you've got various switches that are on little subboards like this, which are all quite nice, I guess, but they don't look like they just come off just in seconds. They might screw off from the other side, who knows. You've got the main twiddly knob, you know it, same as I do, and other inputs and things like that down there. Like a lot of these machines, you don't tend to see much in them because it's all so small and compressed down in size these days. I mean, if you take a look at that board there, it's a great big board, and yeah, it's got all the controllers on it, but it could have been smaller, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Not a lot of spare space, but it could have been smaller, I guess. So, looking at this unit overall, nice build, no doubt about that. I don't see anything that stands out as being bad or nasty or, you know, just plain wrong. It all looks good. And what would you expect? It is German built, which is all quite nice. So, I'll put this back together. Well, overall, it's quite a nice build. Everything's in there as it should be. There's nothing nasty in there. All looks nice. Nice German build. Should you expect? It's made in Germany, I think. It doesn't say it isn't. Who knows these days? I should be taking another closer look at that before I put the lid on. So, but let's put the lid back on now. Have a quick look at the front and a quick look at the back, and move forward from there. Okay, well, it's all interesting stuff. I've got the lid back on, taking a few snaps for the web review of this particular product on www.TonyMckenzie.com. Got the hat. It's the cat somewhere. The cat hat's around, but I don't know where. Anyway, we'll have a quick look at the front. I'm not going to go into great depths, like I said. A quick look at the back, and we'll put it away. I'm not going to sit here playing. It's all over the internet. No point in doing any of that. I don't feel in the mood for it either. So, as you guess, in this video, you see the things that they don't show you anywhere else, right? Hold on. Okay, it's just a very quick rundown of some of the things on it. Like I say, I'm not going to spend all day on it because I could be here for weeks. There's that much in the stuff. It's not really what I want by way of, you know, an amplifier is having 20 million things to do. I'll leave other people to that. But anyway, here we are. What you've got is you've got loads of things to choose. You've got all rigs, current author. I'll go current author, which is me. That'll do. I can then whiz through all the various profiles from that author. Let's say like one. There's one I did do. Fancy that. You've got stomp boxes up here that you can basically a sign. One of the newer ones, for example, if we go whizzing through them, you'll see there's loads of them, loads and loads of stuff. Go on forever. You notice the screen changes colour depending on what type it is and things like that. But the latest ones, right down at the bottom, harmonic pitch and so on and so forth. So we select that one. I can then go and start messing around, changing all these things, the keys. And yeah, that was one of the things they did that was new, and also another thing that's new, although it was actually professed to be there originally when I bought the thing in, not this, but the Geeks handbag one. I bought that in January 2012, and they had this performance mode. It's on this one too, and it wasn't implemented until about, I don't know, a couple of months ago. It took some time. It's basically, if we flip across to it, what you can have is, you have these sort of slots. The idea is that you can have a default performance, and on these slots you can put in different amps or settings, or that sort of thing. I haven't particularly used it because I don't play live. What you can see, you can go and pull one in, and that's now a Marshall, and off and on it goes. Preset after preset. Not that I care that much, but there you go. It is in there and it has been updated. But just turn it off a moment, I want to show you something else. Okay, this is one of the things that to me has changed quite dramatically, and that is, if you watch a screen, when you turn it on, it's the latest firmware that I know of that's on the site. You can see that it's quite slow at firing up, where it used to be an awful lot quicker. Maybe they need to tart that up a bit, I don't know. But it is an awful lot slower than it used to be, and it might not bother most people, it doesn't really bother me, but to see it go much slower and slower and slower, yeah, what can I say? You don't want it to be doing that. The speed it's going at. Can you imagine having to reset it at a live gig? Not the best of ideas, it's still going. Now, I haven't actually timed it, but it is a lot slower than it used to be. Of that there is no doubt. And there it is. Switch it into browser. We've got, like I said, we've got effects, we've got amplifiers, EQs, cabinets, all sorts of things on this. It's quite a powerful device, really. If I move across a little bit, you'll see some of the other things. These are to do with delays, modulation, reverbs. X, you can load something in there. I never did bother with that. Master volume, regular volume. And you've got these fast buttons on here, which are quite nice actually. I use them sometimes. You've still got the USB thing on the front for loading the various bits and pieces up with. I like that. The Geeks handle one doesn't have it on the front, it's on the back, pain in the behind. On the front's good, on the back, well, not quite so good. And I can see why they put it on the front of this one, because in a rack, of course, it can be difficult to get at. Great improvement. Less of a great improvement is, if you look at these LEDs here, as we adjust this, you can see that, hopefully. Well, they've now vanished off here, and what Mr. Kemper said was that, well, there wasn't enough room for them. It's a pity really, because that was a really useful feature. Just at any glance you could see straight away where you were. Now, of course, you can't, unless you want to come really close and start reading down there. Apart from that, Kemper Amp, fantastic amplifier, really. It's pre-amplifier, this one is. You can get it with a power amp in, cost you hundreds of pounds or dollars or euros more. So I didn't do it that way, I did it with other amplifiers. Let's have a quick look around the back anyway, and see where we go from there. I'm not really going to sit here talking about what these do and what they don't do really. You can see what they do, it says on. It's pretty obvious really. I like there's MIDI on it. MIDI's getting better and better on this unit, I think. SPDIF in and out, or SPDIF, you call it what you like. A couple of pedals, network, well that's another story. USB, you've got main outputs, both types, ground lift, nice. Monitor out, I usually whack this one across into the multi-amp and then just have a mono out if you're playing it through the cab for live. Of course you can take all these outputs and push them straight across to your desk too, which is quite nice. That concludes the back of this, except for one thing really. If I just zoom across there a little bit and we zoom in, there it is again. CE approved, FCC approved and ROSH compliant notification on it. Like I've said many times, this type of equipment has to have it actually on the equipment, not just in some box somewhere that you throw away tomorrow morning. And that's a real good indication that this product has been built and tested indeed to particular standards. Well, here we are, back around the front. Great piece of kit, relatively cheap for what it is. No power amp in it, a standard that is. And this was an addition later down the road to the sort of geek's handbag one that you used to carry around and all that stuff. Basically, they're really near enough the same thing. So I guess, I know they sound the same, and there's so many presets these days that really, if you were wanting to look for as many tones as possible, with many different styles of amps and sounds of amps, then this is probably the best one to buy, because there's a few of them in the market, isn't there, different products. I think what lets us down a little bit is there's no editor, and I think to sit here messing around all day, I've talked about this before on equipment of this type, and having no editor isn't a good thing. In fact, it's quite a negative thing. I'm sure they're working on it, because Kemper like that. I think the sooner they get their act together in that respect, the better. If someone said to me personally, well, is it the editor or is the performance mode most important to you? To me, it would have been the editor. I'm glad the performance mode was installed, because it had been promised since February or January 2012, and I think to promise something for a long period of time doesn't help the product really. Not that it needs much help, it's a great product. But I do think certain priorities, they get cast aside or thrown to one side in some way. And I think the editor is long overdue. Many of the comparable products, I mean, even if you was to come down to a GT100, which is nothing like it, but that's 400 quid and it's got a great editor, or a better editor than this one. Let's put it that way around. And then you've got the Axe FX thing. Well, I don't like the Axe FX. It's got a good editor. Once again, a good editor. This hasn't. I think that does need addressing. But I said that about the performance mode too, actually many months ago, and then they introduced that. I'm not saying that it's me that they listen to, because I'm sure they don't. Well, I know they don't. That's the way they are. But it doesn't matter. I'm just an ordinary user just like you, and I know that twiddling around with these knobs all day isn't for me. I think another thing that has become more apparent as I've moved down the road with the Kempers, literally since January 2012, is that the amount of profiles, that's different amplifiers if you will, has increased so dramatically. There are literally thousands and thousands, and the problem for that, once again without an editor, you're faffing around forever, honestly. I don't want any of that. I want to play a guitar. I don't want to be spending months on end. It's not really a criticism, because most of these type of products do have that problem. Whether it's an Axe FX, whether it's this. Actually, the Multiamp doesn't have that problem. The Multiamp is a much simpler product, and one of the reasons I bought a Multiamp is that it is simpler, it sounds good, Still sounds great. And the other thing I liked about it is it had got a power amp in it, a 500 watt stereo, 250 a side, that is. So when you look at this product, it's a great product. There's no doubt about that. It's innovative, no question. As far as what technology this is the best in the world for this. But of course nobody else does it. You've got other companies copying, almost, let's say that, almost, what this does, and thinking that that solves their problem, and it doesn't. And you've got other companies such as, DV that don't go down this route at all. They keep it very, very simple with 3 simple channels, and that actually is part of the issue. I wouldn't sell this, I wouldn't get rid of it, because it's a really great preamp, and I can use it with the power amp and the multi-amp. Like I said, I can use it in the studio. I've got the thing on the front. Everything's pretty much as I like it, but I really would like to see an editor. Apart from that, some people have had problems on the Geek one, the other one with the LEDs breaking or failing. They get replaced under warranty. But there's been an awful lot of them, and that just makes me wonder about that. I mean, it's a fantastic feature, honestly. But there's none on this one, so in some ways, although I gripe about it, it's probably an advantage. A rack isn't for everybody. It is for me, but it isn't for everybody. Sitting in my studio, this is awesome. There you go. That's the latest I have on the Kemper amp, and there's a million things it can do that I am just never going to be able to sit here and cover, even if I knew how to do them. Like I said, there's so much to do with it, and that is the bugbear. There you go. Hope you've enjoyed this short review. I wanted to show you inside, and if you check the website www.TonyMckenzie.com, you'll actually see what those chips do. I might have added it over the text, so to speak, in this video, but if you go and see the written review, it's always in more depth than a simple thing like this. Simple videos never really hack it. The real stuff is on my website, and that stuff never actually makes it to my YouTube channel. So if you really think that, oh, this is what this thing's about, you're wrong. It's about far, far more than anything I could ever cover in the time available for this product. An awesome product, and if lots of amps are important to you, lots of tones, versatility, lots of pedals, all the sort of things that go with that, all in one unit, go and buy one. I don't think there's anything better for what this does in the market it aims at. And can't say any more, can you? Anyway, that's it. Rock and roll. Check the website out. Told you where it is. What are you waiting for? See you again.